What's up guys, Jonathan here, and this is what it's like living with the Apple Watch. Now let me start by saying that smartwatches as a whole right now aren't a game changer. This holds true for Apple, Android, and even something like the Pebble. They're extensions of our phones and without a doubt add convenience, but are they a necessity or life-altering? Not yet. Visually speaking, I'm not quite sold on the Apple Watch, and regardless of how Apple typically brings that want factor or aesthetic appeal, with the Apple Watch it's not quite there. And if we're talking solely looks, I much prefer something like the Moto 360. Unlike the Moto 360 though, which features a circular display, the Apple Watch sports a rounded rectangular display, and I understand why functionally Apple went that route, but it kind of just looks like they stuck an old iPod Nano on a strap, slapped a new interface on it, and called it a day. Build quality though and looks aside, it's really well made. It has a tremendous attention to detail and the screen is beautiful. I picked up a 42mm Sport on day one, and within about an hour of messing around with the settings and menus, I was already a little bored with the watch faces. I thought for sure I'd roll with Mickey, but that ended up feeling a little unpractical. Modular is definitely the most tweakable out of the bunch, but I ended up enjoying and using Solar the most. Still though, even though we can tweak these to a degree, I would love for the ability to do something as simple as changing out the wallpapers like we can on our phones. Another uncharacteristic thing about the Apple Watch is its lack of intuitiveness out of the box. That's a big thanks in part to the digital crown, the main point of control, and Apple knows this or they wouldn't have 354 how-to guides and a novel of a user's manual just to learn how to use the Apple Watch. We've grown accustomed to touch, swiping, pinching, zooming. It's almost second nature to us, and if you hand a tablet or a phone to a kid, within minutes they got that figured out. But with the Apple Watch, it's a little bit different. I'm not saying the digital crown is a bad thing, but I'm not convinced that it's what a smartwatch needs to excel. It is, however, a big fat reminder that navigation on such a small screen is not natural, it's a little cumbersome, and that Apple is banking on us to adjust to them and train ourselves to make it natural. Now, while the digital crown may be something Apple implemented from a traditional watch, battery life, on the other hand, isn't. Not to say that battery life hasn't been as advertised, because it has, and then some, but for the most part, it's something that we need to charge every day, and it's one more thing to think about, or conversely, forget about. So now, not only is it, damn it, I forgot to charge my phone, but it's also, damn it, I forgot to charge my watch. On the positive side though, charging works really well with the magnetic charger, and it only takes around an hour for a full charge if you forgot to do so. So thus far, I think it's pretty safe to say I've been pretty critical of the Apple Watch, but I think it's due to a couple different things. One, I'm not really a watch guy, so just wearing one, whether that's the Apple Watch, a traditional watch, or something like Android Wear, it feels uncomfortable for me. And two, a lot of the added convenience and functionality that the Apple Watch brings to the game, I've already experienced with Android Wear. But that's where I want to stop you. You got to remember, some people are in the Android ecosystem and some people are in the Apple ecosystem. Some might use it because it's easier to iMessage their kids. So this is their smartwatch option right now. It doesn't make them a bad person or an idiot, so don't go watching and say the Moto 360 is automatically better because it's Android. You got to remember, for each person, each scenario is different. So with that, as I point out positive things and things I liked about the Apple Watch, just take that in stride and for what it is. Just because the Moto 360 may do that, that's fine, and go enjoy your Moto 360 or whatever other device you're using, but this might relate to somebody, and that's what I want to bring across. By far, the most enjoyable feature on the Apple Watch for me has been Apple Pay. It works fantastic on the iPhone. In this case, since I don't need to pull anything out of my pocket to pay, just place the watch near the reader and bam, it's done. It's a prime example of convenience added. Not something you can't live without, but definitely useful. The second most enjoyable aspect of the watch is definitely the fitness portion, and in terms of smartwatches, Apple excels in this department. The heart rate monitor is solid, the step tracker is accurate, and really for me, having a nice, clear, easy to read stopwatch helps me when working out. If you're weight training, there's a certain time window that you want to keep it in between sets, and visually having something attached to me keeps me on track, so A, I don't let too much time pass in between sets, and B, keep the workout timely and efficient. Now again, is this revolutionary? No, but it's an example of how I found it useful and how it might benefit you, whether you're getting into weights or just doing something as simple as walking or running on the daily. For those curious about them kicks, these and the ones you saw at the beginning of the video are from Greats, a Brooklyn-born company that blends high-end materials and dope designs into shoes that start under 50 bucks. And the first 100 TLD viewers can snag 10 bucks off by checking out the details and the link down below. So for the most part, that summarizes how I feel about the Apple Watch. And honestly, I'm not sure in a month's time if I'll still be using it. So if you guys are looking forward to maybe a 1 month later or 2 months update, definitely let me know. I'm not gonna get into things like digital heartbeats or sketches because really. But on that same note, I think those who did pick up an Apple Watch on day one probably didn't need to watch this video to convince them. On the other hand though, if you're asking me would I recommend it, and I honestly couldn't, because I'm not gonna go run to my mom, my brother, my friends or family and say you need to buy the Apple Watch. Yes, it's gonna add convenience, but it's not gonna change your life.